We're gonna check out some of this Hurricane Mellisa Jamaican coverage. So this is the Star News out of Jamaica.
So I am at the entrance to Zion Hill in Portland, East Portland to be more specific.
Wow.
Where this wall, as you can see, has partially collapsed. It has been dislodged from the main portion. None of this may have happened last night into this early this morning.
To this town, we hear this town, but this town we take up all boat and try to protect ourselves as much we can. We can protect ourselves because we not try to face no danger. From which the danger have to move on. But right now, they must say high tide. Well, make we look and see what go on. Okay, everybody.
He's saying, I'm gonna translate. He's basically saying it's very dangerous out there. People are being very cautious, taking their precautions. They're not trying to face danger. So they're all kind of sheltering, hunkering down.
Fear enough to move in, just like I say, everybody fear right now. It's the same as because some people gone already, but everybody prepare to move. Like we see I tell come, everybody come move.
What was it like earlier?
Right? Breeze, light we are cut down and all and things. They don't know about things. People have tied down their house and everything. Now the first part of the it was Saturday. Saturday, Sunday, was this one? Sunday.
So he was saying the winds started coming in around Sunday, late Sunday.
So you plan to evacuate if it gets worse?
Yeah, if we get worse, we have to evacuate. Because we're not staying on that.
And you, sir?
Yeah, man, just the same thing, man. It was terrible last night, you know. Very, very hard. I leave my woman.
Oh.
He's like, I left my woman.
The marina, go by the marina to see if it will be because I say, boy, it might get worse, you know, so better me move before the worst at in a night, and you can't see the object that coming. So we have to secure ourselves. So we say no, it's still not gone as well.
No, the storm is coming possibly about 2 p.m. or beyond.
What you saying?
Damn. So this was pre-storm. This wasn't even, it didn't even reach landfall yet.
Man, yeah, scenes like that coming in at a Montego Bay in Jamaica. We had feared that it would look just like that. In fact, I believe, to my knowledge, it's the first video I'm seeing, at least on our air, out of Montego Bay. We know that that jog off to the west, at least more broadly speaking, that trend west over the last 24 to 36 hours, better for the capital in Kingston, but a very poor.
So this is 4:30 Eastern time. This is Eastern time Tuesday. So this it has now hit landfall, right? This is Montego Bay, Jamaica.
Scenario, a poor solution for Montego Bay. Let's get back out into this. We'll check in with our correspondent, Robert Ray, who's live in the middle of all of this. Robert, what have you been seeing? I just saw some video there out of Montego Bay. Obviously, this is...
Yeah, he really decked out. Surprised to see no condom. They were putting condoms on mics. I've seen that on other other news outlets. They had condoms on mics. Y'all seen the condoms on the mics before?
and especially a brutally hard hit.
Absolutely, yeah, and wind gusts kicking up right now, and heavy rain. And if I lose you, Ian, because I just did a second ago, yeah, it's just the way it goes. We are operating on a Starlink right now. It's the only way we're getting the signal out, and on a Wi-Fi calling on the Starlink. So indeed, I'm seeing the same thing. Whenever we can get service, we're seeing videos out of Montego Bay and that area that are just horrible. And there are 25,000 tourists in those hotels and resorts as I speak right now. And you know, it's probably very, very.
So this is the condom on the mic I was referring to.
What is on my microphone? It is what you think it is. It's a condom. This reporter is out here practicing safe hurricane
She really put a condom on the mic.
reporting.
This was from Hurricane Ian from Florida. So these Americans are wild. Anyway, back to the real coverage.
Scary for many of them right now, and I know that we saw something where people were kind of arguing about food and things like that. That is what people go through, and the anxiety of these systems, and so many people packed together, hunkering down in the resorts. They can't go anywhere, and the target just headed there with these winds and these rains. I mean,
Damn, so you see Melissa's moving through and it's going towards Cuba now. Cuba is a bit more northern. That's rough. Cuba about to get smacked. I'm wondering if Florida's going to get hit pretty hard.
we expected a more easterly track when Mellisa went into the
Might get some condom action on the microphones in Florida.
made that turn to the north, and it just really has not come to fruition. It's a bit of a wobble to the east, but not enough to spare the economic heart of Montego Bay as far as tourism goes, with all the resorts, and by the way, all the businesses on the sides of the 2-lane road, the cultural area, which leads basically into Montego Bay, and so many people love to see that on the Caribbean Sea. So where we're at, essentially in north central Jamaica, 50 miles away from all that is occurring right now in Montego, we are getting strong wind gusts and rain. It is not consistent hurricane force winds, but nonetheless, some tiny particles of debris off trees and vegetation.
Wow, so it's hitting the west end.
Thus the helmet.
Well, this is just the eye of the storm here. So this is the whole hurricane here. So yeah, Jamaica's getting smacked. I know that the eye of a hurricane is the most violent, as opposed to the eye of a tornado is the opposite. The eye of a tornado is the most calm area, but the eye of a hurricane is the most violent. So you see this, you got the temperature mapping on
The
there.
glasses, you have to do this if you're going to stand out here and try to document what is happening. The sea is a quarter mile down the road. And I would love to get in a vehicle and drive down there and see what's happening, but we simply can't do that because of down power lines that we're hearing about, and some debris that is on the roadway, and the darkness is upon us in about an hour and a half. And so we're in a position where we couldn't even report live if we wanted to leave, because we have a Starlink set up in a certain position. That the incredible team is sitting in a garage, deep into a garage, and protecting the equipment right now, trying to get this reporting out there. It's very difficult to have live transmissions.
You see the path over here. I don't know why this is here. Get out of here.
In this, but I worry about what is happening in Montego, and when we can, when the day breaks, we will make our way over there, and hopefully we can get into some of these affected areas. But you may see roads that are just impassable, and the floodwaters because of all the rain as well. Some of the images from the southwest area of Jamaica that are coming out are just terrifying. The backside of the storm, after it makes its way over Jamaica and clears the area, you're going to see a push of water as well from the sea into the Montego Bay area as well. That's going to cause destruction. So there's so many variables. Ian, we've been talking about this for the past couple of hours. There were over 800 shelters that were available to residents of Jamaica, and nearly 3 million people live here. What we're told by government officials is that almost 400 of them are occupied, but only about 6,000 people in total from their head count so far in the shelters. And that really is not a lot when you think about it, when there's almost 3 million people here. So I hope that people found a safe place, whatever they could do. And high ground at points may not be the best place because of the water in the mountains and some of the flooding we're seeing in communities at high altitudes. A pretty good wind coming through here right now off the mountainscape here. We're on a bit of a slope here that leads down, though the rain is not as intense as it's been earlier, but we expect that to pick up. It's the ebb and flow essentially of the east side of the storm, but the core is just really compact, and so it's just not going out as wide as anticipated, and especially because it didn't cut as east to this area. Unfortunately, gosh, it just made a line toward Montego Bay. So this is not going to be good for that part of the country. I hope that the Kingston airport is okay so that aid and supplies can get in there, and we can get some people off the island that were here visiting this great place with so many incredible people and a great culture as well. It'll be interesting to see also how the flooding occurs in Kingston, with surrounded by those mountains and some of the water that might take time to come down and inundate roadways and create flash flooding. But I think right now, we're in the thick of the impacts to the west of us, and certainly to the southwest, where it made landfall at 185 miles an hour. Ian?
Robert, you got me thinking as you were talking about some of the numbers with the shelters. I know amongst
Honestly, he seems to be in a pretty calm area. You don't see, like, I've seen a lot of hurricane coverage, and this is not very violent. Like, he's standing up. He looks pretty good. Again, no condom on the mic, can't be too serious.
native Jamaicans, there was a little bit of frustration with some of the messaging of folks saying, hey, we're an island nation. We know how to deal with tropical impacts. But watching how this has played out and what you were just telling us, where this hit in Jamaica, that might be the spot where that would be the fewest number of people where that's the case. These are people coming in from all over the world to visit beautiful Jamaica, but they don't come from tropical settings, and they're dealing with high-end tropical impacts. Did you come across a lot of tourists that maybe have no clue how to handle something like this?
Yes, Ian. I caught part of what you're saying, because again, we're in and out. I can only hear you because of the Starlink right now, but indeed, yeah. When you think about it, look, I mean, this team, we go into places like this, so we have an understanding of how.
It just shows, the element of unpredictability, right? Because they're saying 100-mile-per-hour gusts likely across western Cuba, so it's like they don't know. They can't really foresee. We saw some hurricanes last year that came and went and came back and went back around and grew in strength, diminished in strength, went to the ocean, came back. So it's very interesting. These storms seem to be quite unpredictable.
To handle it, but the average person has no concept and no ability to prepare for something like this, especially when you book a vacation in advance and you come down to paradise and you expect to have great moments with family and friends, and then all of a sudden you're stranded and you're stuck with hundreds and thousands, quite literally, in resorts and hotels, and you're hungry and you're concerned, and there's no power and there's no air conditioning, and you can't get a cell phone signal out to let your loved ones know that you're okay, or even speak to anyone around the world that wherever you're from. So I think the level of anxiety that's probably going on with the 25,000 tourists on Montego Bay who are stuck, quite literally, and trying to do their best is something that you wouldn't wish on anyone. And it's going to be a long road after Mellisa leaves this island, because again, the cell phone service may not come back as quick as everyone thinks it's going to. The power grid is compromised, especially in the biggest impact areas with those winds, and it's going to take time for officials to get in and clear those roads with chainsaws and just sheer manpower and equipment. That is not going to be easy. I mean, I witnessed this during Hurricane Beryl July 2024, and that wasn't a landfall, and there was issues. And I drove literally from Montego Bay all around the west end and down into the southern pockets where exactly the landfall of Mellisa occurred. And look, that's the breadbasket of this island. It's rural, it's agriculture. There are some resorts down there, but not like there is on Montego Bay. But those roads are fragile, certainly. So not an easy situation right now. There's a pretty good wind gust coming down here, and rain definitely picking up. Ian?
Yeah, Robert, we're not even close to that point, but we know when it's safe, and for that matter, even technically possible with what you were explaining with your overall setup. You'll be showing us some of those places. I'm scared to see what some of these hardest hit places.
Yeah, talking about power, like anywhere, of course, that has above ground power lines, whether you're in the US or Canada or UK or anywhere that has above ground power lines, you're going to deal with these types of outages because, of course, trees are going to fall onto lines are going to get blown over. You're going to have those types of issues. I'm sure some of the resorts have generators, but, for the most part, I'm sure a lot of them do not have generators. And even if they do, generators run on fuel, so fuel's an issue. So if you don't have gasoline, or gasoline becomes scarce because it's a time of emergency, you're not going to be able to run those generators for very long.